to Sweat and Grime, ladies and gentlemen. You've got Greg motherfucking Johnson here in the studio. Next to me is Matt motherfucking Totten. And on the phone,
live from the shit truck is
live
Rick,
from the shit
Dick
truck. Yes, he is actively driving the shit truck. And on the
Ryan's
phone,
driving the shit truck.
Oh, you got Ryan, dude.
You're in the passenger.
We got 6 people on this podcast.
I'm teaching them how to fucking waffle stomp.
Oh, yeah, baby. And then who else we got on the phone, Greg?
We got my buddy Jaden, tool and die maker.
Does Jaden have a last name? You're not going to give him an official introduction?
No, he doesn't get one.
Fuck
Jaden, tool and die.
What's up, fuck Jaden?
What's up, man? Just cool until I die. What can I say?
So what do? You do tool and die shit.
So my title is a senior manufacturing engineer. I work for a OEM company that I will leave unnamed right now. But,
for good reason.
Started life as a tool and die maker, and like I tell people, my tool and die background is actually what carries me. Just that knowledge and that skill set.
Yeah.
What's a tool and die maker?
A tool and die
they
maker.
make dies, Rick, and tools.
Yeah, mostly for aerospace and automotive. Basically, the manufacturing or building of the tools that build car parts, pharmaceuticals, aerospace pieces,
drugs,
you name it, appliances, anything that's steel is usually manufactured by someone like me that designs and builds the tools to make that product.
Greg's a tool. Could you build a Greg?
Yeah. That's probably impossible, isn't it?
They molded him and they broke that one. Hold on a second. I'm gonna order some food here. So.
Sweet.
What are we getting?
Right here.
What are we getting?
See
Where
McDonald's?
are we at?
Hang on. Take bets really quick. Where's he at? McDonald's? Taco Bell?
Arby's. What do you got, Todd?
Taco Bell.
Oh, man. McDonald's.
I bet he's Burger King. Did he put us on mute? He did.
Oh, my God.
He put us on mute. He didn't even, live order.
What a bitch.
Wow.
What a bitch. I was going to order.
I was going to say, put it on speaker and I'm going to order.
So tell us, Rick, what are you doing in the shit truck?
We've been pumping shit most of the day.
Well,
I mean,
I guess that's kind of what you do in a shit truck.
Yep.
Well, it's
kind of goes without saying.
The trainable retarded. I mean, our government has fucked up the driving training program where these boys got to get school. So I got to fucking sit in the passenger seat and fucking bounce around.
How is that non-air ride seat treating you all day, Rick?
You're sitting on a little milk crate?
No, his is a jump. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's not like the driver's seat.
Air ride for granted. I feel like I'm hung like a horse today after I'm fucking done bouncing around.
You know what?
I would think that it would be a much different feeling. I feel like you would be taking it from the back.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
A true ass pounding.
Dude,
why did you not order?
Why in the fuck did you not order live on the show? We're all taking bets on what restaurant you're at, and then it's just radio silent on your end.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Because I'm an asshole, I love to get my friends and colleagues when they order stuff, and it's the whole back and forth, what would you like? And there'll be that time, and I'll be on the speaker, and I'll yell, a giant black dick in my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were gunning for.
Yeah, and then you get the whole awkwardness, and so it was probably about 2 months ago.
And then it's a big giant black dude with a dick hanging out the next window when you're like, oh shit.
The first window or the second?
No. I had a lady, my buddy yelled I'll take a giant hot cock in the ass or whatever, and then I literally pulled up to the window, and he's like, I'll take 3 giant black wheat, and he's just going on and on.
What kind of dipping sauce would you use?
Do you want ranch?
I think it's mayo based.
I was thinking more like mud butt or something.
Yeah.
So what restaurant are you at?
I got burned that one time, and I've learned to just mute it.
Just get it over
Son of a bitch. So what restaurant are you at?
I'm at Portillo's, which
we're way
What
out.
in the fuck is a Portillo's? That's like some snooty ass. What?
Yeah.
No, I'm in the Communist Society of Illinois. So it's just an Italian joint they have down here. And their specialty is hot dogs, so phallic shapes for you guys. You know, you like that stuff. So
Wow.
What the fuck is a Italian about a hot dog?
Tube
You
meat.
know, Italian
they're more
wieners.
like kielbasa or Italian
Pepperoni.
sausage, ain't they?
Pepperoni.
exactly.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs on the sign, but it is Italian sausages, right? So
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
you choking down a big hoagie, not just them little ones.
You go for the 12
Yeah, I'm not-
incher, the foot longer.
Well, we've talked about it before. You know, if you're gonna eat one, you might as well just do two at the same time.
Yeah, you
Why
squish
not?
them together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you squish them
They'll
together.
mash a little
Do
bit.
you think Italian men and women have big fucking pepperoni nipples?
You know, I can say from experience that it doesn't seem to be a genetic thing. You know, I think it's just what it
Well, the
is.
real question is, are you talking in shape and size, or are you talking in flavor?
It's a good question.
Is that marinara or your nipple?
Yeah, that is.
That just got really interesting.
Boy, I don't even need to be in the middle of a sex moment, and I just want to take a little nibble off that baby.
Tastes like marinara
Jesus, man,
sauce.
Jesus.
So
Put it on the charcuterie
I
board.
forgot to give Rick copious amounts of shit because I swore up and down he was not going to get me to drive that shit truck. And a quick story time. So I got the steel delivered for the studio, the roof steel.
Yep.
And the driver is this old fucking guy. It's his third delivery to the property. The other two deliveries, we've had to walk him back because he's that bad at backing. Well, he went out there solo. Ended
Yeah,
up
but you had a window guy before that.
we had a window guy. Well,
right.
the window guy was his own fucked up retardedness. He decided he was going to try to turn a box truck around in slop mud going uphill. Like everything about it was just like,
doesn't make sense.
That's just retarded. This guy manages to get himself stuck in the flattest part of the driveway.
Nice.
And then instead of like actually trying to rock it out, he just hammers that bitch to the floor and digs himself a 1 foot hole with both of his duals in the middle of my driveway.
I don't care. I want to hear the shit truck part.
Well, so now what happens is I have to go fix the driveway because you can't get back there now because there's these big old ruts. They had to get a wrecker out there, drag him out because another genius from
Shit
the
truck
lumber
part.
company decided to show up and they were like, hey, that little spider lift, I'll pull it off and I'll go around you off this 3 foot bank that's snow covered.
All right.
Spider lift got stuck off the bank. So now the driveway is a complete fucking disaster. You can't get back to the house now. So I have to now go fix it. So I call Rick up. Can I borrow the skid? Yeah, I've got it on the trailer behind the shit truck. You'll have to drive it over there.
yeah.
And so it didn't even occur to me. Like I'm like, okay, because I'm in objective mode. I just go pick up the skid steer, and I'm halfway down the road in the shit truck, and I'm like, motherfucker,
driving the fucking shit truck.
I'm driving the shit truck. And
That happened today?
that was yesterday.
Oh, okay, because I got to drive one of Rick's hoopties today.
Oh yeah, he's got some real gems in that fleet.
Hey, it makes
I
some
mean,
money.
I flew that bitch down the highway at like 4:30 this morning. Like, God, I hope this thing makes it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it drives great.
Yeah.
And we got to get those T-shirts made because there's names on the back of his truck.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
speaking of, yes. So we have officially put the stool bus on the back of the shit wagon. And so we are going to go through the Instagram comments.
I already
did. So how many are there? We've got like, 3 or 4 people that had stool
Yeah.
bus?
Yeah, but who won?
We're going to do all of them that said stool bus. So we'll send out 3 or 4 shirts. Whoever said stool
All right,
bus
I
in the
think there's
comments.
2, 3.
Okay, we will be reaching out and we will get you guys a fuck flex time shirt from
With a picture of my face on it.
yes, Greg motherfucking Johnson. We got to figure out how to
I got it already.
okay.
We're good.
man.
Okay, so
We're good.
So Jaden, our other
Yes, sir.
guest on the phone, tell us a bit about like what's involved in doing tool and die work. Like everyone knows that tool and die people exist, but no one knows what the fuck you guys do.
We get hot dogs. That's what I'm doing right now.
Get that
Oh,
cream
yeah.
sauce. Get
Thank you
it.
so much.
Get that cream.
I like how you put us on mute so we wouldn't order a giant black dick, and you're at a fucking giant black dick store.
It's already made, so he knows they're gonna spit in it. Now he has it. Now he's
The
good.
thing is, though, is I'm polite, right? I'm polite, though. I was polite to that lady. So, so I believe the question was, what do tool and die makers do?
Yes,
They make tools.
he's told us tools. Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
like
yeah. So
that's
Well,
like
like-
Rick pumping shit with a
Go
shit tuck.
deeper into this. Paint a beautiful
Yeah, so-
picture like Bob Ross. You know.
there's kind of a multitude of things you can do as far as you can focus on the machining aspect, like CNC machines. There's a lot of fabrication involved, because you're welding things. Some of the actual details or the pieces that are inside the dies need to be maintenance. So you have welders. There's pneumatics and hydraulics. There's sensing involved. So there's electrical. To be a tool and die maker, is like you said, it's kind of a general term as far as, you work on tools in the manufacturing setting and build them.
Yeah.
But it's machining, welding, fabricating. It's basically, good old fashioned trade shit, man. Working with your hands.
Nice.
So you just show up and you're like, I'm a tool maker, and they're like, cool. Or is there an apprenticeship?
Yeah, so I didn't know how far we wanted to go.
Oh, we want to go all the way.
I want to know
all the way.
everything.
So if I take a Phillips head screwdriver and I grind that fucker flat on two sides and make it a flat tip, am I a tool and
You're
die
a
maker?
tool.
You are a tool maker at that point. I mean, I feel like you made a tool.
Oh,
Or you're a
he's a fucking gatekeeper.
I would say at that point,
keeping the industry.
Your parents are a tool maker because they made you.
at that point, you're a tool destroyer because that tool was already made.
Okay, all right, fair enough. I'll accept your gatekeeping, Jaden. So tell us more.
Yeah, so basically, long and short of it, man, I was a kid that liked sports, and I liked dirt bikes and snowmobiles and cars, and I had no interest in school, really, at all.
Yep.
I had a buddy that was like, hey, man, I'm in this shop, and I don't know, it's a tool and die shop. And I was like, well, what color dies do they make? Like pink, green, what's the hardest? He's like, no, they build parts. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's like, but they pay good money.
Yeah.
I think minimum wage back then was like $3.75, and that's what I was getting paid working at a go-kart place.
How fucking old are you?
104.
Right. Goddamn.
You're 82? What?
Yeah. So at any rate, he's like, you should come in and check this place out. They build all this cool shit. And so I was just starting as like just janitorial maintenance, doing whatever somebody told me to do. But I always had crap that was broken.
Yeah.
These guys were always cool about I'd be like, hey man, I got this sprocket and I'm busted broke. And all the teeth are ripped off it. The guy's like, hey, I'll show you how to cap weld that with some hard, rod.
Oh, you motherfucker.
You guys love that. And then we'll set it in and machine it and we'll index it and I can put that all back on there for you.
Wait, what is indexing?
Cool. Indexing would just be like moving it an incremental.
It's the little cards,
right? To put the actual sprocket shape on the top.
Oh, okay.
But as I kept breaking stuff in cars and snowmobiles and dirt bikes, I was just really infatuated with the fact that you can weld and machine and fabricate and make virtually anything, right? And so as I kept working on this stuff, I started talking to guys. I'm like, well, what exactly is it you do? They're like, well, we're tool makers, and if you're interested in this stuff, you should ask the foreman, for an apprenticeship.
It looks like you have a boner, Brian.
What do I got to do for that? It's like, well, basically they'll pay you to go to school, and you'll have a job, and you'll go through an 8,500-hour apprenticeship, and you got to take some classes. So I have an associate's degree in manufacturing technology, and then once you're done with that, you end up with a card. And at that point, a journeyman was, $27, $28 an hour, something like that, which was good money back in the day. But once you do that for a while, then I was probably in my 30s and started cracking corporate jobs. Where once you have basically built tools, I'm not gonna lie, I sit in meetings around the clock to tell people how to build their parts, because the schooled engineers are fantastic drawers and have no reality of
how to make. Yeah.
Now, I thought that was just the dirt industry that we dealt with that bullshit. You're telling me?
No.
So the only one that can understand engineers are other engineers?
Virtually. So that's long and the short of it. That's what I do now. Is I basically several vehicle projects. Again, I won't get into names, but I help implement and design, do feasibility and simulation. So obviously the different material components metallurgically will bend and stress and take things. I've delved into crash testing where we actually
did you crash anything?
The frames. Unfortunately, I don't get to, but we have people, dummies, or Gregs, as we would say.
Oh, that was a nice one.
Oh, that was great.
Holy man.
You went full send on that one.
Yeah.
So you're talking getting into metallurgy. Like, how much fucking education is there that goes into this? That ain't surface level shit.
Well, that's what's crazy though, is what like Greg and I talk about all the time. I've been in the business essentially since I was 23.
Yeah.
And I have, like I said, an associate's that I got with my apprenticeship, and I did go to school, and I do have a bachelor's degree just in business. But the point of my career is it's all hands-on stuff that I've learned through the years, just like you guys, that paves the way for my career. So
don't give away the total secret sauce, obviously, but ballpark, what's someone in your position going to look to make? Because that sounds like a pretty serious role.
I mean, that's the thing though. If I wanted to go back to the floor because of overtime and the fact that there are not enough skilled tradesmen around, there are skilled tradesmen in the Detroit metro area that are all day making $150 to $200 a year.
No shit.
With zero college.
Yeah, exactly. With basically the schooling, the machine trade schooling that they
teaches there on
CC. Yep. So, yeah, I myself is salaried in the mid 100s, right? And I have, stock options and all that bullshit. But the point is like, to get into the trade, you can make a great living. I'm sure Greg shared with you, I go to China, Korea, Mexico, Poland, Germany. I've traveled.
And where are you living currently?
I actually live in Dublin, Ireland right now.
What the fuck are you doing buying hot dogs from an Italian restaurant in fucking Illinois?
I don't know.
The whole geographic.
Me all up. I drink Guinness now.
Dude, Guinness is good shit. It's good shit.
You know the crazy thing that Jaden told me is they like to box in Ireland, and it's like not an unreal thing. Like they actually box.
Yeah.
Like in the bar, they'll fucking whoop down, throw down.
No shit, bare knuckles.
Jaden, bare knuckles.
I've heard that bare knuckles is actually safer than the boxing gloves because you're not doing all the wraps and shit, so people don't hit as hard as they normally would.
Really?
Well, and the truth of the matter is like, to your point, when you're hitting someone with a pillow on your fist, right? You're really beating the tar out of them before they realize that something's damaged. Where when they go knuckle to knuckle, some guy will get so busted up, he'll just be like, I'm good.
I'm done.
Sir, right? Sir, this is Sweat and Grime. You don't have to what was the term he just used? Beating the tar. You don't have to use
beating the fuck out of somebody.
You beat the fuck. This is Sweat and Grime, sir. You do not have to censor yourself.
Now, Jaden, have you got in the ring?
No.
I forgot Rick's here.
I have not.
Maybe that's our next call when you're in the ring.
So do you legit live in Dublin?
I do. I legit live in Dublin, Ireland. I live in it's like the southern and eastern part. It's called Donnybrook, and yeah.
So what took you over there, and are you traveling for work currently, or what brings you back stateside?
Yeah, so my wife is also in automotive. She works for an automotive company, and she's actually an executive. So we moved over there because their headquarters is there for her job.
Called Chevrolet.
And it's funny, I told Greg, I was going to quit and going back to like needing tradesmen. They're like, no, you ain't going nowhere. And I was like, well, how am I going to work? They're like, well, you can come back and just work whenever you want. So for the past 20 months, I'm home for usually about 2 weeks, and then I come here for 2 weeks, and they pay for everything. And then I just come down, and like today, honestly, we have some body fitment issues with the hood and the bumper.
I had the same thing happen last night. God damn it.
You had
a hood and a bumper issue. Just the alignment wasn't correct. We were having some fitment issues.
Too big.
Yeah, it was just, The problem was the bumper. The bumper was not firm enough.
And then Brian woke up.
So what you're saying is, as a skilled tradesman, people are so willing to pay you for your experience that you are now working as you feel like while living in fucking Dublin.
Correct. Yep.
It's pretty badass.
That's awesome.
That is, boy, I just, time and time again, as we do these interviews, I feel like, Rick, you and I really picked the wrong industry, man. We picked the short end of the stick.
Someone's got to hold the short stick.
That's true, and by God, we're good at it.
I mean, I traveled the United States, and I had offers to go to other countries. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I had PCL, which is a global company, offered a superintendent role, but I was going to have to travel the world building construction projects, and that was like not for me.
And that's where it gets tough, like being in my old position. Like, yeah, I could have stuck around, but I would have been on the road all the time.
So I'm the only one that didn't get an offer to travel the world. Like, I'm just over here with my short little stick waving it around.
Well, that's because you worked at a fucking bank.
That's true.
There's not very many bank tellers
that travel the world.
Yeah, at the sperm bank.
You know, Mr. Furness, we would really prefer you not quit. We want you to be the finest bank teller
in Switzerland.
Yes.
You're the best load manager we could find, so we're going to send you over to Amsterdam.
Our ATM checks are just overwhelmed.
Now, Jaden, we know that you're a car enthusiast, correct?
Yep.
What was it like going over to Germany and trying to get your license and cars and all that?
Yeah, tell us about the communist country of getting your car.
So tell us over here in America what kind of cars you're into, and then when you go over to Germany or Dublin, where the fuck you're at.
Yeah, so Dublin is a right-hand drive. It's not communist, it's socialist, so it's a tweener, right?
Fucking Brian would do well over there.
Fuck yeah. Bring it on. Is weed legal?
No.
Oh, fuck Ireland.
Yeah.
So
the cars are it's very California-esque, right? Like you have to have the old take them in quarterly, half a year, whatever. They go through them.
Get the emissions test
shit.
and all that bullshit.
Fuck that.
Yep. They will let you have a license right away, pending you have, I have a valid Michigan license, right? So they gave me my quote unquote learner's license, a permit.
So you went there
when I went to get insurance, though, Greg knows this story. My wife's like, well, let's get something cool. I'm in a city, so you can only have one car. She's like, well, we got, enough money. Let's just get something cool. I was like, yeah, we'll get something cool. So we're looking around. I call the insurance company, and the lady's like, well, you can't have that. And I'm like, why not? She's like, you're only allowed to have something with 140 brake horsepower.
What were you trying to get?
A little Fiat.
We were looking at like a Porsche SUV, nothing crazy.
Okay.
But,
cool.
In the grand scheme of things, not as much power as we have here in the States. It was like maybe 350, 400 horsepower. But she's like, oh, no, you don't qualify for that. So I currently drive a Volkswagen Golf Estate turbo.
Oh, hell yeah.
I can get out and run faster than it'll move for the first like 40 miles an hour.
It's got a turbo. Come on now.
Oh,
it's
God.
awful. It's just
so do semi trucks, but they don't go very fast.
So hang on a second. What do you have to do to qualify for additional horsepower?
Well, so after I would have my driver's license, right, which it actually takes almost a year of training and testing or whatever to qualify for an actual driver's license.
Sweet Jesus.
Then you're allowed to have, things I think under 300, and then if you want to have something over, you actually have to again get permittance and then be able to afford the insurance. The insurance is gnarly over there. So.
Well,
wow.
I will say after watching a lot of the Ford Mustang owners here in the US, I'm not necessarily opposed to that system.
But you want somebody above you just saying no, you can't own that?
No, okay. not in reality.
No, you're taking Jaden. This guy has a legit 1,000 horsepower Camaro,
but
here
not
in the
in
United
Ireland.
States. And what would happen if you were to import that car over there?
Would they
just burn it?
It would sit in his garage because he wouldn't be able to drive it.
Yeah, no, there's
legally.
It would be a hard no. I don't think they would be roadworthy. Period.
But would anything over there be able to chase you down to give you a ticket?
The police officer's like,
God damn it, we only qualify for $250.
It doesn't matter over there. This is another story that Jaden kind of clued me in on. They don't carry guns, so it's not like they're going to shoot you.
That's true.
They're just going to club you to death.
Well, if they can catch you in your
that's
1,000
where
horsepower.
hurts.
That's where I'm at today. I'm sitting here driving around so my guy could log enough hours before he goes to training, like Greg's guy, so they could fucking test.
Yep.
And these guys got to have all these qualifications to drive like a shit truck. We're talking a fucking shit truck here,
An
guys.
automatic shit truck. It's like
But,
driving a
80
U-Haul.
Yeah, but an
Full of poop.
85-year-old dude could go buy a fucking 300,000 pusher bus and put a car hauler behind it, never fucking driven in his life. You're like, you're good to go, sir. Let it rip.
And that is true. Like, we do have some fucked upness, and I do think that there are some standards that need to be cranked down. But for someone to just blanket tell me you can't buy a car because it has 300 horse, fuck you. Get
Well, I
fucked.
mean, that's where we're headed, Brian.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
As long as my weed stays legal, you can socialize however much you want. You know what? I'll just go home, I'll smoke my joint, and I'll get all of my upsetness to woosah, and we're all good.
And then you can jump in your 20 horsepower Volkswagen and
But you know
and go
what?
to Taco
I
Bell.
don't have to worry. I don't have to worry about driving high to the grocery store because what happens? I go off into a little ravine, and then I have to motor. Well, the thing's the size of a fucking penny
Motor
racer
what?
anyway. All I gotta
Motor-
do is push it, and then you're out of the ditch.
Hey, fuckers, did you guys hear about the new electric trucks that are coming out? Obviously, we're having issues with and whatever, but they're getting to the point where if you fall asleep, it's starting to become like a self-driving car.
What?
Have you guys been listening to that at all?
No.
No.
Jaden, are you in on this?
Did you tool?
I work for an EV company that it builds. That's what we do, is build those, and the autonomous features and the safety features and stuff. They all are very legit.
It is Tesla, goddammit. You're responsible for the steering wheel issue. I knew it.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you.
The truck that we built, like I was telling Greg, like, full disclosure, I just took the damn job because I wanted the job, right? It paid right and it was close to home or whatever. And I told him, I'm like, these things are so queer. Like, this is so they're totally against it, right? And I had a guy that, like, he's like, hey man, you're into hot rods and stuff, you know, like, we should join this, like, this club. And I'm like, dude, I'm not getting involved. They'll fire me if they find out how much petroleum I burn on the weekend.
Yeah, right.
And but straight up though, like I was telling Greg, the truck that I helped work on and we built, it's a legit all-wheel drive 800 horsepower truck. That's what you can buy.
Holy shit.
It's crazy. It's 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
Wow.
I mean, it's got the aerodynamics of a fucking outhouse.
Yeah.
So it ain't worth shit. It ain't worth
Yeah.
shit after 100 miles an hour. But I'm telling you what, it flies 0 to 60. It goes.
That's-
Now, Jaden,
Weird because there's no noise.
That's
no
it's-
noise.
Well, that's what most
so
people don't
creepy.
understand about electric vehicles. They just totally write them off because, oh, it's electric. But it's like, dude, you have instantaneous torque, you have instantaneous horsepower, and you've got the ability for each wheel to instantaneously monitor for wheel slippage.
It's a drivable
so you are getting
Porta-John.
the most fucking power you can possibly get out of the vehicle. Like, it is insanity.
For like 40 miles
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
in 2 days of charging.
You only need it for a quarter mile.
now, Jaden, do these got ability if you don't pay your payment to repull themselves?
Ooh.
You know, it's interesting. There's been a lot of questions about that stuff because people are starting to catch on. And it's one of those weird things, just like the lithium mining, where there's really not a lot of noise that comes from my company on that stuff. Because I've heard several things that the federal government now will basically, because they can track you and they know where you're at, and you're basically, it's like a cell phone, right?
Yeah.
You're a driving cell phone. Like, if you don't have insurance, if you have tickets you don't pay, et cetera, there is a lot of questions about, you're 100% monitored. They could essentially shut it off, right?
That bitch just locks you down and drives you to the police station.
I've never thought.
Locks you in it. That's
fucking
retarded.
awesome.
Oh, that would fucking suck. You go
I
to
never-
steal a car to get a come up, and the next thing you know, you're in jail.
I'd never
Hello,
thought
Rick.
of that
We're going to
aspect of
jail.
our smart vehicles. That, yeah, they They have an exact location
lot
on
of
you at
potential.
any time.
The one that bothers me the most, because like honestly, all jokes aside, I mean, I'm a fairly law-abiding citizen, so I don't really worry about that stuff, or I'm just really lucky I get away with it. But you know, the gas taxes, you think about, we pay tax on our gas. So if you're not buying gas, how are they going to tax you? Well, if they know how many miles you drive, they can tax you based on miles, right?
Ooh, and
It's just like cell phone minutes. If you're on the grid, not only are you going to pay taxes on electricity, but you're going to pay taxes for being on the road, and they got you. I mean, that, you know, like I was telling Greg before, like the vehicles, I've been in some of the prototypes, the batteries are coming around. Obviously they pull like a mule, you know, it's torque, they're all torque. But yeah, some of that stuff remains to be really talked about. And, you know,
And no one wants to talk about it.
I'll put my little tinfoil hat on. I mean, there are some legitimate questions there. You know?
Yeah,
and-
100%.
And you brought up a good point. So if you're not paying fuel tax, they gotta generate revenue somehow
For the roads, yeah.
And this car knows how fast it's going at all times. Can they just mail you a ticket?
Ooh, man, so many questions.
Say you're going 78 down the highway, you get home and boom, you've got mail.
Yeah.
Here's your fucking ticket.
Yeah.
Now, the one that I was really telling Greg about that was crazy was I was in a bar and I had my fuck it. I had my shit on, right? And,
It botched that one.
We can bleep it out if you want.
It's all good. Like,
Okay.
I probably won't work here much longer anyways. But at any rate,
Thought there was gunfire outside. Sweet Jesus.
this,
So, Jaden, tell us about how sucks so badly.
and this lady came down and she's like, hey, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, I've worked here a long time. She's like, you know, the CEO, you know the guy that created. I'm like, yeah, I know him, you know, blah, blah. She's like, can I get in front of him? And I'm like, nah, I don't have that ability or whatever. So she starts telling me that, I don't remember, she had some crazy degree and she was down here in the area speaking at colleges on this regenerative electrical system that they can put in the roadways. And she wants to talk to because she's like, you know, my problem is everyone is saying, hey, electric cars are going to save the universe. You know, we're doing this, we're doing that. She's like, but, you know, let's face it, it's really just taking the power from petroleum and giving it to people who own the electricity companies, right?
Yeah.
She's like,
Redistribution of wealth is all it is.
exactly. There was a guy next to me that she's like, well, I don't know if you guys know this, but we can actually put, just like the slot cars we had as kids,
Yeah.
it's like we have a way of putting these strips or these things in the road. So as you're driving over it, it's basically like a
Regenerating,
magnetic, and it regenerates your battery.
No shit.
So it'd be like driving on a wireless charger for your cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So I'm blown out, right? I mean, I was drunk, but I'm just sitting there thinking, whoa. And she goes, yeah, like we can't get anybody to work with us on this. And it's funny because the platform is we're trying to like save the world. But she's like, you know, nuclear power plants and coal plants, all that stuff has to come back to make all this power. She's like, if we could put them in the roadways, then it would save all that extra energy we're using. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, what? And she goes, yeah, but honestly, the problem is the taxpayers own the roads, right? And she's like, so without the government getting behind this and the car companies
You're
getting behind
fucked.
this, you know, we can't get it in. And I'm like, but the taxpayers would want this. And she's like, exactly. But she's like, the government officials and the car companies, everybody wants their slice, so
Yeah.
no one will do it.
Yeah, no one's going to do it. You got petroleum companies lobbying like crazy. They're never going to let that go.
Be, like part of 96 or something, they're supposed to be doing like 2 lanes, or a 94 or something like that. They're supposed to be doing 2 lanes for like 30 miles of this quote unquote rechargeable road.
So it's
Fuck, that ain't gonna last long.
Dude,
No,
it's
it's gonna last
really
2 weeks.
interesting we're having this conversation tonight. So I've been dealing with the local power company here, Consumers Energy. For the new studio build. And one of the things that we've been trying to figure out is my dad is getting the new F-150 Lightning, and he's getting the tier 2 charger that you get when you order the extended battery package. And so this fucker draws 80 amps.
50 or 80?
80.
Okay.
You need a 100 amp circuit.
Yep.
It draws 80 amps at charge. And so I went, okay, so knowing that, when we build our house,
You need a plan.
I want to be able to have 2 of those in the garage in case we ever get EVs down the road. Just
So
kind
what
of
you're saying
future-proofing
is
the house.
you're building a small Fermi in your front yard.
So that's what it's turning into is, well, you start doing the calculations on how much energy you're going to draw. Like if I wanted to backfeed the house through the barn, we're talking like a 400 plus
switchgear.
amp. Oh yeah. He goes, you're stepping over the line to where you have to have engineers get involved. You actually have to have a lockout tag out procedure for any electrical work you do on the premises. Like you're full on industrial size. And I'm like, hang on a second here. Because I'm thinking about this just as a practical homeowner. I got 2 boys that are going to be of driving age here within the next probably
your grid
8
out
to
there
10 years.
is not sufficiently.
It's not even the grid. It's not even the grid. The issue isn't the grid.
Oh, really?
The issue is here I've got my car and my wife's car. I want to be able to charge those. I want to have an extra one because, you're going to have people come over and see you. And Matt may want to charge his car while he's over. So I'm going to have one outside for him. But then I got the 2 kids. So that's 5 chargers. Well, now all of a sudden, just your cars are pulling 500, round up for ease of math, 500 amps just for your cars. Jeez. Now, plus you've got your 200 amp service for the house, plus the 200 amp. You're at fucking 1,500 or so amps to supply the house, the
800.
barn. 800 so 800 plus you've got your 200 amp service for the house plus 200 for the barn. So you're at 1,200 amps.
I can't wait to watch you pull this on a rain day.
Well, so this is I start talking with the guy and I'm like, it's really becoming apparent. And this is then this one small exercise of me, one person
for your own house,
trying to build a future-proof home. How underprepared we are for EVs.
So I got to ask you this.
Yeah.
Cost associated, because I had this same conversation with an electrical contractor today who they wanted to put, I think I can say it. It was a Ford dealership and they wanted to put the super duper power, charging
so
stations.
My cost was not going to be that cost.
Right.
Go ahead and go into your story, but
yeah. So they wanted to put these new fandangled chargers in their dealership. And they were like, okay, that's fine. And they wrote up the proposal and everything. And it, they were going to need 1,000 amps of, commercial switch gear and this, that, and the other thing. And then they figured out they didn't have enough power on the road. So they were going to have to pull bigger feeders with, higher voltage.
Yep.
And then transformers and so on and so forth to get all the power they needed. And it was like $400,000. And they're like, why is it so much? Well, because you've moved your simple charging station into an industrial realm.
That's it. This is when you start talking power on this scale. You're talking like my house would be on par with a small commercial building.
Yeah.
Like that's the level of power you're talking for these chargers. And so, you
got a substation like a hospital.
I just come back to like, holy shit, this is one house. This is one house in my entire area.
And
that's
then if
having
your
this
neighbor's
conversation.
growing weed, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're fucked. you got to call the day. Hey, can I charge the car for a couple minutes? Can you shut your light? What's your timing schedule?
You're touching on a really good point, though. So several years ago, I worked for a company that basically built all the internals and the conductors and all the stuff for the Chevy Volt.
Right.
Remember when we had Mr. Obama along?
Yep.
He pushed GM into the Volt. So we had Volts all over the place, and that thing was the biggest piece of shit, right? And the problem was
Tell me how you really think.
System, the charging system and everything that you had to buy by the time you were done cost as much as a damn car.
No shit.
And then back then, that thing would go 50, 60 miles at best, right? So it was like, those didn't work out at all. Obviously, virtually no one has them, right? You never see them.
Yep.
But I remember that was several people were like, well, I buy the car for whatever the price is, and by the time I get everything installed and the charger, and we're not talking hyperchargers or the fast charging systems or any of that stuff. It was literally plug it in and let it sit for an entire day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where I can say the trucks we have, that's the only thing. The gray area that they will tell you about it, but most people don't think about it. If you fast charge them too much,
it's bad for the batteries.
Of the battery.
Yep.
Yeah.
No shit.
So same thing is like they tell you, like, don't run it all the way down and don't charge it all the way up. You know, you want to kind of keep it in the middle.
You're like, what the fuck do I do?
Yeah. It does occur to me. Well, I was going to say, it occurs to me through all of this. Battery technology and the power grid infrastructure are the two biggest hurdles in EVs going forward.
Absolutely.
So
we just need bigger charging stations.
So if you're not allowed to run your air conditioner in the summer when it's hot, what's going to happen when everybody plugs their vehicles in? Because they gobble up 4 times as much power as an air conditioner.
Well, California has already ran into that the last 2 summers.
Well, California's about to find out.
All your charging stations down.
That brings me to my
turn
next
your AC off
conversation.
until 7 o'clock.
California is about to do away with combustion engines, supposedly.
I just told you that in Ann Arbor, Michigan, supposedly, I haven't fact checked this yet, you're not allowed to have a gas service to a new building.
I don't get that at all. That's fucked up.
They want it 100% electric. I'm like, okay, so if I build an 8,000 square foot building, what on God's planet am I going to heat it with?
Coal.
Fucking let the hippies fucking burn it down.
Hopes and dreams, liberal tears.
Yeah. Jaden, with this stuff being all electric and you're talking about they're just a square body like an outhouse, why are they so bulky going electric versus not being aerodynamic?
Actually, you know, in our case, it's stylistically, it's what the CEO wanted, right? It was his idea.
His vision.
One thing that when we say bulky, like aerodynamically, I don't think it's any less or any more aerodynamic than the Lordstown vehicle, the F-150 or anything like that. The truck is actually on the small side for being like a half-ton pickup truck class because the battery, the skateboard, instead of having your standard transmission and you know powertrain, there's a lot more room and it has a lower center of gravity. So you don't need as big of a truck to achieve as much space, which is actually kind of cool as far as headroom and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Does it help with I can't say fuel economy because it's electric, but
electric economy
miles.
So in the case of our vehicle, it has multiple settings. So like if you know one day you retire the shit truck and you get one of these, you go down the expressway or the highway. There's actually a setting once it goes to past a certain mile an hour where it lowers the suspension to make it more slippery through the air to help you with, it's just an eco mode. It's got a sports setting, off-road setting, and it's all based on suspension and things of that nature to conserve battery and help with aerodynamics.
Wow.
I got my own outhouses, Jaden. And there you go. And they fucking suck some fuel moving them today. So get this. I had to get a couple outhouses for some jobs coming up and how relevant it goes with the pump truck. So I tell my wife, and she's real impressed that the pump truck sits like outside our fucking door window.
Yes, impressed is the word I would use too, looking at that fucking gym.
The aroma just coming off of that thing's going to be awesome in the summer.
In the summertime, yeah.
What do your neighbors think of your new outhouse collection, by the way?
They haven't seen it yet.
Well, yeah, they haven't seen it yet. So I went from 4 acres to 1.5 acres. We're running a fucking business out of it.
Dude,
no. You have to expound
you
more
gotta
than that.
quantify the amount of shit you just put in 1.5 acres.
Rick buys this like 1.5 acre wooded lot with a pond.
With a half-acre pond.
Blows down all the trees, fills in the pond, parks all his shit there, fills it with millions. Now he's got a shit truck and he's bringing in outhouses, and all of his neighbors
and
are
don't
just
forget,
like,
2
Jesus
semi-trucks, heavy equipment, fucking...
Like, Rick is the worst neighbor ever.
And then you just have Rick.
Yeah, well,
his wife's
we're
a saint.
on our way out. We're going to move.
Yeah, you demolished the property, obliterated it, and now you're going to move, and all your neighbors are just like, what in the fuck?
No, they're going to be like, thank God the guy with the shit truck doesn't live there.
No, see, I'm prepping it for the next neighbor.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. What you don't know, though, is Rick and I have already come up with an idea to get out of taxes. We're also going to put a church on his property.
Nice.
It's gonna be the world's smallest church
as well.
What's that LBGTQ shit? Yeah, we're going to start holding services here.
And you give me so much shit for my Pride mug. We need to paint your truck up with a Pride
the
church.
Church of Latter-day Sweat and Grime.
Yeah, you'd make a gay ass fucking liberal.
I'll be your pastor.
Yeah, you'd be the first in line on the knee pad. But so get this, I had to get a couple porta johns for a job. So I tell my wife, I'm like, hey, look,
A couple.
I need
How
a
many
couple
did you
porta-
buy?
well, I started out with 2.
No,
So I told my wife, and she
don't
just
lie.
kinda, well, no, I did. I told her, I said, I'm going to just go up. I'm going to buy 2. We need them for some jobs. And she's like, you're going to fucking put those at Greg's shop. I'm like, yeah, we're going to put those at Greg's shop and shit. She's like, yeah, we're going to do all this and that. I'm like, yeah, we're going to put them at Greg's shop. Anyway, I just need to get 2 of them. She's like, well, don't fucking bring them home. I'm like, yeah, okay. Won't bring them home, hon, no problem. And I get up there and
He was trying to put one at my place, by the way.
business sale.
Did you order these while you guys were down in North Carolina? So she came home and she didn't see all this showing up at the house.
Wait. Did I just understand that correctly? You just went to a Porta John estate sale?
Yeah. So the old man died. So the old lady's selling it off. So I went up there with some cash in my pocket because she didn't want to get screwed by check. Because just the way this world is anymore. So I went up there with some money, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just needing 2. And I'm like, I'm looking around, and it's kind of like a flea market.
She has
here.
200.
Yeah, PortaJohnFinder.com, baby.
So I give her the cash for that, and I'm sitting there and I load them up, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, I want to buy 6 more. Will you take a check? She's like, well, I don't want to take a check. I said, here, I'll write you a check, and I'll come back in about a week and a half after we get back from Con Expo and stuff, and then I'll go just kind of ease it back in there, like, honey, I'm coming home. And then I'll go get like 6 more. So now we're going to have like a bunch of little outhouses, like a little hippie ground out here.
Oh my God. You could hold festivals. I bet you could get a festival permit. Your neighbors would love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, it'd be like the Renaissance Festival here in Michigan.
Fuck yeah. And on Rick's.
It'd smell about the same.
Yeah, you won't have to travel 30 minutes to
Rick's
go to the rent
totally asphalted parking lot of a 1.5 acre
Oh
lot.
my God.
With a house and a
See,
barn and semis.
I'm just breaking in all 3 neighbors that are right next to me.
Your neighbors dropped like
I'm just
$100,000 in
breaking
property
their
value.
spirits and their hope and their willpower. So when the next neighbor moves in, they don't even fuck with the guy.
Yeah, they're just like, thank God you're
We're
not
so
Rick.
happy to see you. Oh, you race dirt bikes? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't
you
give
can put
a
a
fuck.
motocross
Yeah.
track in the yard.
2 o'clock in the morning, I don't care. Just don't bring in this
So,
shit
Rick,
truck and
about
Porta
those
Johns.
Porta Johns, they're 3 feet closer to the property line than they're supposed to. Could you please move them?
The neighbor that he bought
I
the
know.
place from,
Yeah.
he was like getting after me because I was getting close to the property line when we were grading out in the lot, and I took everything in me not to go, buddy, just wait. 'Cause this is the least of your worries.
Does he not?
Yeah, like my neighbors, I had to get out of the other house, just the way the housing market was and stuff, and it was older. So the neighbors, when I first got this place, and I had trees everywhere and shit, and they're like, "So what are you doing?"
I plumbed that house, by the
We're just
way.
going to knock some
No
fucking
shit?
trees
Yeah.
down, and I just got to make a little bit of room for a couple pieces of equipment. And
It was a beautiful lot.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
It
That guy
was.
spent his whole life savings to build that community.
He did.
And then,
Yeah.
And then Rick went in there and fucking bulldozed it, paved over that bitch, and put some Porta
he was a
Johns
nice,
down.
and you even did an engineered septic field for
Fuck
him.
your dreams.
So you know what? Remember when you were a kid and your buddy wasn't home and you'd go over to their house and toilet paper it?
Yeah.
I just had an idea. When Rick is
yeah,
not home.
I want to have a stockpile of toilet paper. We could do the neighbors.
No. Better than that. When Rick leaves, we put Porta Johns on his porch.
Well, I was thinking the opposite. In Rick's situation, it would be like when he leaves, we're gonna go plant some grass and some shrubs.
Because there ain't
My
nothing.
pit bull will be home, man. She'll come out and fucking kill you.
Nah, it'll be locked in the house.
Oh no!
You're gonna come home. You're gonna come home.
Porta Johns up the steps, dude. My wife's gonna go like Donkey Kong.
She,
Oh no! When you and her,
oh yeah,
are
you're just
away
gonna come back to your house
with Porta Johns.
Yeah, like a giant fence around your house, but it's Porta Johns.
Oh
You
my
know,
god.
I can see how this goes, and then like Johnson throws like this massive fucking party. Everyone starts getting blown out of their mind, and I back up at like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night with the shit truck full, and I just let her rip. And like, we here to party, right?
You know what, Greg? I just bulldozed that farmer's field out for you, Greg.
Yeah.
Now you got
Fucking A.
fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not illegal at all.
No.
Yeah. Well,
No,
you're
actually,
already in
I just
trouble.
gotta
That's
fill
fine.
out some paperwork. I just got to fill some paperwork with Eagle and Greg, and I can start a knifing operation over there.
Yep.
A what
A
operation?
Knifing. So
Oh,
we
where
can
you're
knifing.
knifing the
Topically
yeah,
applied.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So Jaden,
So, Jaden, our guest, what are you doing out there? Did you eat your sausages yet?
Yeah, how were those?
No, actually,
didn't hear you
actually,
choking.
All the Porta John talk, I had to take a shit, so I did that real quick.
oh,
And,
Did you use the
then I had
mute
a
button?
question. So is knifing related to scissoring or spooning at all?
That's where my brain went.
that's kind of where I was like, is that where you pinch her off and it's real clean?
No, see, knifing is just a single one person application.
What?
Spooning, scissoring takes like more than one person.
That's true.
So it's
That is
kind of
true.
like masturbation.
Knifing and masturbation go hand in hand.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so
No pun
knifing would be
intended.
like baby steps into spooning and scissoring.
Gotcha.
All right.
Makes
All right.
sense.
Okay.
Glad you clarified that, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
You
sex
know.
for just one person.
Oh man.
Right. I mean, those all
But
go
poop is
underneath like
involved.
the terms of like those go under the terms
People
of like
are into
dick
that
knocking.
now.
How's that
Yeah.
any different than sex after you're married a few years anyways? Let's face it, we're all just trying to get to the finish line, right? So
Yeah, it's a race. It's a race against the timer.
exactly.
What time
What
are
timer
you
is
talking
that?
about?
Is there like
A mental
2 minute?
timer.
All right.
Oh, thought you were talking about how long Little Johnson works.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick
Say,
tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. Boom.
They make pills for that now.
They do.
Jesus.
When you got a hood and a bumper issue, you take a
Yeah,
little
some
blue
of us
pill.
need him.
So, Jaden, tell us about your first car over in Ireland, the one that had two wheels and you had to push it with your foot.
Isn't that called a moped?
It was a fucking
Scooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so we moved in technically during COVID time. So I couldn't get a car at first. And
Why did you
I got
pick
rid of-
Ireland again?
His wife.
His wife's an executive.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. Okay.
been there, like I said, we've been there 20 months. But yeah, I couldn't get a car. You know, the city's pretty quiet, and I don't really know where anything is. And then those folks just generally walk everywhere. And I'm like, man, this is bullshit having to walk.
There's a fat American.
So at any rate, I'm walking by this Mercedes dealership, and they got this fucking pretty sweet looking like scooter thing in there. It's like like a Razor on steroids, but it has the Mercedes thing on it, And I'm like, I don't even care how much that costs. I gotta have that because I'm fucking lazy and I'm done walking. So I bought myself a Mercedes electric scooter, and she does like 25, which is pretty good. It's as fast as my Volkswagen. And
I was going to say, I don't know that I'd be comfortable standing on a Razor doing 25. Sweet Jesus.
What?
well, this one's a little bit better. She's got disc brakes and all that stuff.
Disc
I'm bringing
brakes?
them back.
Ooh.
I'm bringing them back. We'll have them in the States. I'm kind of interested in what people think, but yeah, I was rocking a scooter like for the
That's
longest time.
badass.
So then my wife liked it. She was totally out on it at first. She's like, can't believe you spent all that money. I'm like, I'm lazy, I don't want to walk. And then she rode it around enough. She's like, oh man, go back and see if you can get another one. So we have.
Well, how much did it cost?
I don't care to talk about that, but
Oh, come on.
You got to spill the beans.
Come on.
How much does a Mercedes scooter cost in Ireland?
I was trying to say euro to US because obviously they use euros there. I want to say we gave probably a G for one of them. Like
It's not that bad.
That's less than I was thinking. Was the way you built it up.
10 grand a piece.
Yeah.
or
Fuck,
something.
a Razor's going to set you back $150, and it's not nearly as cool and doesn't have disc brakes.
No.
What
Yeah.
I was going to say is, so she bought one, or we got one for her. So for a while, we just like have the kids stand in front of us, and we ride around and go to dinner and go get groceries. And so oddly enough, she actually I bought it just because I was lazy, but she's been riding that thing every day to work the whole time we've been living in Dublin.
That's awesome.
I don't know why I have this vision of your wife all dressed up in executive clothes driving a fucking scooter to work. That just seems super odd to me.
With or without a helmet.
I don't know why you got visions of his wife either, Johnson.
Rick,
It's about the scooter,
it's
Rick.
about the fucking scooter.
Sweet Jesus.
How do you be an executive and show up to work? Like here, there's this, pre-built sort of expectation that an executive has to show up in a nice car and park in an executive parking lot. And there, they just show up on fucking scooters.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's so expensive though. Really, most people do have bikes and scooters and mopeds and weird shit, right?
Yeah.
And if you're able to have a car, like I said, because fuel when I left is like $2 a liter, right? So shit, they're paying double what we're paying right now.
Man, the amount of satellites I was going to have to align to do the math to convert $2 a liter to something a gallon. Sweet Jesus, man.
Yeah. So
$10 a gallon.
You got to talk in freedom units here.
Dude, I just paid freaking $3.72 this morning in Ann Arbor for gas.
Are we really going full 80-year-old man?
I
Are we going to talk
fucking
gas
pissed.
prices?
I was
God
pissed.
damn it.
That's
Back in
not
my
bad
day.
at all, Pat.
I was going to say, Top, buy a diesel.
Go fuck yourself so I can drive a gas car.
Well, soon you're all going to suck my dick and drive electric shit.
No way.
That's gonna be a long road, bro.
That's when I go full on scooter mode.
You know what? I'm going to be driving down the road in my little electric truck, and
Yep,
Jaden's going
call
to be
me
next
for
to
the
me on his
fucking
little
jump.
electric scooter, and we're going to be just yeehawing, and you guys are going to be like, fuck you guys.
I was like, I just, no way. No.
Greg, we're going to get a text, and it's going to be from Brian. He's going to have this little bitch fucking thing. It's going to be like, can you guys come jump me?
You have a jumper cable?
I only made it 142 miles.
I hate to squirrel out, but like all the electric shit that Brian wants to put in his house,
Yeah.
isn't that fucking dangerous? Having that amount of power in your house?
Well, you don't go lick it.
I'm just saying, if you have a roof leak, you're going to have a fucking real problem on your hands.
That's why you need the disconnects in the.
That's
Right.
That's it. That's why when you step
And where
up,
do you put this shit? Do you put it in the
right.
garage?
You're gonna have to build another garage
so really,
for your server. Your
if you think about it,
electrical
all
room.
it is you're running a 100 amp capable wire out to a charger.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But so, like where I live in farm country, and you have to apply to get 3-phase where we live. You have to have an active dairy farm to be able to have that much power.
So I'm going to have to buy a fucking cow to charge my truck.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I have to apply and show that I have,
A need for it.
machinery
Yeah.
to be able to run this. But as a homeowner, you bought a Ford Lightning, and now all of a sudden they'll just give you 18,000 fucking gigawatts.
Yeah.
Well, fuck farming then.
Yeah, fuck farming.
Just go full electric
Farming's
truck.
never been the answer. Cow farts are the mass cause of global warming. Everyone knows that.
I forgot about that.
Auto repossessions on the rise.
Rick is really
look on
worried
the
about
TV.
it. Rick, do you not
just
pay your
walked in the
bills?
house.
Like you.
What did it say?
No, fuck. I'm thinking we're going to get into the auto repo. It's on the rise. According to my
Why?
TV.
EV will just take itself back to the
Yeah,
dealership.
you're working yourself out of a job, Rick.
Yeah, but that's like
They
another
took
10
my
years.
car.
So Jaden, what do you do across seas for fun? That you're not in America.
He's in Ireland. They drink.
Well, besides that,
That's true. No, honestly, the things that I love the most, I have to wait. I'm a avid snowmobiler, and like Greg said, I'm into cars and whatever. So honestly, it's been kind of a cruel and inhumane punishment being over there. There's not really anything that I love to do. I've done quite a bit of traveling, but yeah, as far as
you should see him when he gets here and he sees actual American food. It's like a dog. You know the dog.
I'd
if you
imagine.
spill like the whole thing of kibble on the floor, and they just eat until they blow up.
Now, I will say, snowmobiling, there's a topic coming from two different worlds, because everyone on this fucking podcast is from the north, but here I am, the Texan in the room. I hate fucking cold. Like, my goal in the cold is to get fucking warm. And I come up here to Michigan.
fucking Texas.
Well, fuck you, Rick. Shut up. I'm trying to tell a story.
Actually, move to
goddammit.
California with the rest of the weirdos. Like
Yeah.
you.
Well, I got to grow my man bun out first. That way what is it? Not inseminate.
Yeah, you'll inseminate.
What the fuck is that? What is the word? When you move to a place and you become part of the place, what is that?
Wait, we just talked about this last podcast.
Yeah, it's not
Call
inseminate.
it cult.
No, no, it's
Fuck, I just
Thank
lost
you,
a
Rick the
word.
Dick Velcro.
we just
Fuck.
I was thinking to simulate.
No, we're all fucked up now. Anyways,
Well,
back to snowmobiling. I just
when you refuge.
The whole thing to me is the first thing everyone's like, you got to go snowmobiling, and I'm like, so you're telling me the fun thing to do when you're already cold as fuck. Oh my god, that was so unbelievably close to my fucking. Woo, my god!
You don't have to church it up. You're on the right one.
That
So
was
Totten just chucked a mousetrap
right
your
at the
balls.
old pecker willy, and I felt a graze across the tip, and that is not me saying it for the show. That was close. But yeah, snowmobiling, like, why the fuck would you want to do an activity that's going to generate 100 miles an hour of
I'm
wind?
the luckiest son of a bitch
Like,
there
to
is.
make you even colder, and everyone's like,
I can tell you on my part that nothing brings me more joy than just gapping the fuck out of Johnson on his snowmobile.
Fuck
I
you,
don't even-
Jaden.
If you made me do it naked, I would be out there all day, because just the look of his face when I finished. We raced down Mansalona Airport.
When you
wait, we
finish-
gotta pull that clip clean.
The look on his face when
Greg's
he
face when you
finishes.
finish.
on his face.
It was amazing. Like, we went out there. So I bought a Sidewinder last year used, and the guy's like, yeah, man, this thing's hopped up, whatever. I did the research, wanted it, makes 300 horsepower. So I'm like, Greg, let's go to the airport. He got his new sled. And he's like, I don't know, man. I'm like 100 pounds lighter than you, and my sled's this, and it weighs less than yours. And I'm like, well, let's figure her out. And it's actually funny because his daughter videotaped it. And I go by.
Do we really have to tell this story right now?
Man, you really shoved it in his face with his daughter present.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you emasculated Greg Johnson in front of his daughter.
This is what I'm saying is, you know how warm he feels right now because he's pissed, and how warm
I'm
I
sweating.
feel 'cause I'm beaming with joy. Like, that's when you're getting your ass kicked or you're beating somebody, especially your good friend on a snowmobile.
Yeah.
There's so much warmth from doing that.
Well,
You're
the
never
other
cold.
that was the other part too. They're like, no. You have a bunch of gear that keeps you warm, and I'm like, really? Yeah, it's like $1,000. I'm like, why in the fuck am I going to go outside of my warm home? Ice fishing is the same fucking way. Why the fuck am I going to go outside
Ice
of my
fishing's my
warm
jam.
home and spend a shitload of money to make myself not miserable in this circumstance where I could just fucking sit in my
Yeah.
living room and drink a beer?
Yeah, but see, you're missing it. The whole thing, like if Jaden ships you the video, he edited it with like Top Gun music and he's blowing
I
past
have it.
Greg.
Yeah, it's,
Highway to the danger
I need that
zone.
sent to all of us. I need to see this.
I'll find it. It's very emasculating.
Boy, Greg, I don't know that I've ever
Oh,
seen
Jaden.
Greg
I
like
gotta go
shriek
home,
a little
guys.
bit. Yeah, like you
Sorry.
could
He got
visibly
really quiet.
You could visibly see his pants kind of just settled in a little bit more.
The part about it was, the guy's kind enough for me to, he's like, yeah, man, you can, stay in my cabin. His daughter and son are up, and all we did was watch it over and over and over again.
All
By
night
the end of the
long.
night, he was like, God damn it, shut that off. Greggy, so his son, they're like, we take off and we're we're over a half mile away, I'd say. Like, we're way down there, right? And you can hear the sleds coming, and you hear his son go, "Oh yeah, dad's beating, or dad's getting his ass kicked." And then his daughter goes, "Do you think so?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, for sure." And then I start to get close, and she goes, "Holy shit!" As I go by. It's just the way that they were commenting about their father, like you said, just really getting
and you really ground that in. You really, you know what? Greg does
Now,
strike
how
me.
fast were you guys going?
140, I think, 138, something in there.
Faster than most of them Dublin cars.
And scooters combined.
All right, man, I'm out of here. I gotta take a shower.
Hey, Rick, thanks for doing that.
Open
now.
the valve
Yeah.
on your shit truck. I mean, what?
You don't need to shower. I mean,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
See you, Ricky Rick.
Yeah, we'll see ya.
see you, buddy.
All right. So, is that how we do the podcast now? We just like, if we have to take a shower, we're just like, fuck it, I'm out.
Hey, guys, I got to go jerk off. I'll see you later.
Yeah, like, what the fuck was that?
Peace out,
Bitches, I haven't hung up yet. I was just saying.
Well, what in the fuck, Rick? Like, since when is the podcast is like, all right, well, I'm going to go take a shit. I'll see you guys.
I'm done with this. See you guys.
I've decided I'm done. Oh, what the fuck, Rick?
You boys would thank me that I didn't come over there in my fucking poo outfit.
No, I'm not.
We'll
I
keep
would've
you on
cared.
the
I would've
phone,
loved
but
it.
sweet Jesus, I didn't realize we got to just sign ourselves out. Sweet God, my God, professionalism.
All right, we'll see ya.
All right.
See you, Rick.
Fucking guy. We'll see ya.
3 seconds later. Just kidding. I'm still here, guys.
Jaden, do you miss actually working on the dyes?
Oh, I mean, honestly, like I said, that's what I'm doing right now is just so when the parts are made, you know, they have to be made within, you know, tolerancing and all that stuff to scheme, right? And then when they're assembled, it's a fully automated process, right? So these machines have to be able to find the parts, they have to be loaded correctly to do the welding, do the assembly stuff. So basically all I've been doing for the past year and a half is just working all the little kinks and quality issues out of the parts, out of the assembly equipment. And 100% that's all done with just good old fashioned sitting there watching it run and understanding how to weld and machine and fabricate and adjust equipment using your hands.
Yeah.
So
It is. So my wife's aunt and her father were both die makers for GM.
yeah.
And I got to go through one of their facilities when her aunt was still alive and kind of get drinking lots of beer. We got lots of burps going. So I got to go through one of the facilities and actually see some of the dyes she was working on. And like, it was incredible to see how precise they had to be, but then to actually be in the room when those presses were running. Cause that's the other thing too, for our listeners who are not familiar with this shit. When you're talking about presses that work to shape the panels for automotive parts, like you're talking, what's the size? 100-ton press? I can't remember what the numbers were. They were mind-boggling. The short.
Yeah, so like the vast majority of our press lines are, you know, so that like there's two different styles, but in a large like GM, Ford, Chrysler, whatever, right, that are doing Class A surfaces or external panels, like we stamp the full body side of our truck out of 5 hits.
The whole fucking side?
Yep, the whole body side hit at one time, right? So a sheet of material comes in, it draws it, restrikes it, it trims it, it restrikes it again, and then out the back is your finished, well, minus paint and whatever assembly.
Right.
That's the side of a truck.
Yeah.
You know, each one of those stations or whatever, each ram will generate, you know, 8,000, 10,000 tons.
Jeez.
Right? So the presses are, like you said, they're huge. You know, you can stand inside of them and
yeah, and it's
24 foot by 20 foot. Yeah,
it's incredible too because when they hit,
just make sure you're not standing there when it's about to.
Well, I was about to say when they hit the floor, you can feel it in the floor, and when they built the building.
It's all on shock pads and shit.
Well, no, it's they have to do an entire they have to drive pilings and do an entire foundation just for the presses. Yep. on top of the actual structure of the building. Like the press pads are totally separate. And that was something, again, I'm from Texas. I'm not familiar with the automotive industry. I come up here.
The first 10, it's going to all of a sudden it's going to start going down.
It's funny you bring that up, Todd, because my close friends and I have some family that works in the press industry as well. And me being a plumber, we figured out that a lot of these, dye shops have a lot of plumbing problems. And what we would find is that the sewers were all going all weird. They would hump up and sink down. It's from the vibration of those presses hitting all the earth. Time. Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if you mapped that. What would be really fascinating, I wonder if you map that. I wonder if it would actually be in the wave pattern
of the hit.
That would be pretty fascinating.
So we've developed our own way of laying pipe when we do it in a high press facility like that. We basically build a road with limestone with fines in it.
No shit, just to lock it all in.
Aggregate lock, and then we put our pipe on top of that, and then we encase it.
No shit.
Because they move so much.
That's incredible. Yeah, it is. So for people not familiar with the automotive industry, it is mind-blowing. There's no other word for it. If you've never been in one of those plants, it is mind-blowing. I mean, there's
a couple cool...
let's see if this will pick up this audio and see if Jaden likes what he hears.
Okay, all right. Well, you got to turn this. You got to turn the volume up.
Listen,
this is apparently this is 80-year-old man day.
There it is.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh, baby's breathing all that.
I love how it's the shittiest version of Highway in the Danger Zone too.
Did that bring back some memories for you, Jaden? Of me getting my ass handed to me?
Are you getting all warm and tingly?
You got an all expense paid trip to Gapplebee's, baby.
Gapplebee's.
That's fucking awesome.
Sweet. All right, I'm out. Yeah, right.
Yeah, apparently we just need to pull the Rick the Dick Valco and be like, well, I got to take a shower.
I'm out.
I was actually waiting for him to just come back on in 2 seconds. Be like, I really haven't left, guys.
Yeah, I know, but no, he did. He's taking a shower.
He's
gone. So.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. I don't have much else, man. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, I'm still here.
I told you.
Oh yeah!
I told you, motherfuckers. I felt like he was playing a fast one on us.
That fucker.
Did you take a shower?
No, I'm standing here naked now. Fucking, you were playing when I was taking a shower.
Rick's fucking helicoptering while we're having a podcast. He's just having a great time.
I'm gonna freaking text your wife to freaking live stream you right now.
No,
dude, my wife
save that for the
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Sorts of jacked up.
I would puke.
You got to save that for the OnlyFans, man.
Yeah.
You got to capitalize on that content.
I don't know about that.
If you want to see Rick's dick,
Wow.
Go on over to
we're selling Rick's dick while he's not paying attention.
Well, we decided long ago the OnlyFans was Sweat and Grind. I mean, we got Sweat and Grind. So,
okay,
are you out for real, Rick? Motherfucker.
Just hang up on him.
He didn't. I don't. In fact, I should look because I bet we can see.
No, now
we're still in a conference call.
He's gonna be singing I'm in the shower.
I wonder. Now, there's the question.
What
does Rick sing in the shower?
Ooh, that's what I was hoping to hear.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting over here wondering if he understands the value of a shower beer, because that's something very.
Well, he doesn't drink, so.
Now I'm going to tell you. Never mind.
A shower coffee.
A shower coffee.
All right.
I mean, that's a Rick beer.
I feel like that's a little like instead of coming down from the day, you're amping yourself back up.
Well, I had to drink coffee just to get through this podcast.
Well, that's because you've got a fucked up work schedule that you're supposed to hire people to do the shit you're doing.
Yeah, whatever.
You made a severe miscalculation there.
I did. I made a wrong turn.
Yeah.
You fucked up by saying fuck flex time.
Yeah, my flex time is sleep whenever you get a chance.
Yeah, right. You should have gone with real flex time. Yeah.
You did indeed.
So. Anyways, well, you think we're good?
I think we're good.
I don't know.
Jane, you got anything you want to say on the air?
Yeah.
You want to plug your OnlyFans or something?
I think I'll have to come back for part 2, and I get a couple of beers in me. I'm a lot better guest.
I like that.
That's true, because you with a couple hot dogs, it's
Just wasn't enough.
unimpressive, Jaden.
No, I know. I felt like I let you guys down. So
You should have bought more hot dogs.
I think you gave us a pretty good episode.
Italian sausage. We need more Italian sausage from you.
Yeah, you didn't do nearly enough gagging.
Next time, you're going to go through the drive-thru and let us talk for you.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
But I also got my phone, so I've got other embarrassing things that I can expose about Johnson.
Boom.
Well,
So,
How about the fountain and the Speedo?
no, that wasn't. Jaden wasn't around then. That was Brian Jojo.
A story for another day.
It's not that big of a deal.
All right. Well, Jaden, thanks for being on, man. We appreciate it.
hey, no problem, guys.
Later, brother.
Everyone, thanks for listening. As always, we appreciate you guys. And be sure to check out the description of every video now, because we now have a PayPal link where you can support the show so we can buy more shit to make this better. I mean, it's not like it can get much better than this. I mean,
Sure,
we're really
Ken,
at the pinnacle.
No, we can hire people with cattle prods to run in during like random spots in the
That's
show.
true. Guys, you know what?
Listen, we're
Right
saving for an iPad.
Well, that's true. Our iPad took a shit,
It's
which is
taking a
why you
shit.
don't hear any sound effects. So
And
go
music or
contribute
anything.
to the show so we can buy an iPad. We'll continue to improve the show. But as always, thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys next week on Sweat and Grime.
See ya.
Peace.